Yikes. Alright. Hey guys, so this flew our first drone, and obviously things did not go as planned. But during this video, I'm going to tell you 7 tips so you don't make the same mistakes. So question number 1 is it legal in your area? So for example, in New York City, you can't fly drones. That's where I'm living. You can in a few designated parks, but for the most part, you can't. So even for other areas, guys, like if you're within 5 miles of an airport, if you're trying to fly it over a stadium, even possibly at night, there are a lot of circumstances where you can't fly a drone. And I know for some people, like, you may think that you can fly it, you may get away with it, but then if you upload the video to social media, that is when you can actually get in trouble. So just make sure you're not filming anything illegal. Now, number 2, if you live in the US, you have to register with the FAA. So this is pretty quick. It takes about 10 minutes. You do have to pay $5 for it, but if you don't do this, then it is illegal to fly it. Now, number 3, before buying a drone, you have to ask how important is video quality for you. Now, that may not seem like a big deal. For example, I got this from Amazon, only 130 bucks, and it is the most popular drone on Amazon. So this has a 720p camera on it, and I figured for what I'm doing, mostly just having fun, I figured that would be good enough. But unfortunately, the problem is this is not of image stabilization. So even though it is still pretty decent quality, it is very, very shaky. So yeah, guys, if you want to actually get like really smooth, really nice overhead footage, then you may need to spend upwards of $1,000. Now next, I'm going to definitely suggest getting a MicroSD. So for this, what you can actually do is, so we have the controller here, and this actually has a little stand attached to it. I took it off, but it goes right here. And then you attach your cell phone to it, and then you can use your cell phone to actually record the video footage. So what happens is the video is captured from here, and then it streams to your phone. But the problem, guys, is, at least for me, the quality was really bad. I'll play a very brief clip, but there was a ton of lag. It's very, very low FPS. And overall, it was just definitely not worth it. So what you want to do instead is get a MicroSD and put it directly into the drone. So that way you're not streaming and there's no quality loss. So next you have to be very aware of the battery situation. So first for the drone, this has a removable one, but it only lasts for about 10-15 minutes. So what I did is I bought a second one on Amazon, only about 10 bucks for it. Also, it does take an extremely long time to charge. It'll take several hours. And aside from that, of course, you also have the controller. So I was kind of disappointed because with this you have, on the back here, we have 4 batteries, 4 AA's. And once again, guys, these don't last for that long. So all things to think about. Next up is read the instructions. I mean, honestly, guys, I have not read a manual before this in probably at least like 15 years. But you really want to know the controller first. So what I did first is I looked on YouTube. I tried to find tutorial videos for the exact model. And unfortunately, there's just not very good ones out there. So what I did instead, guys, is, again, I didn't feel like reading instructions. I brought this and didn't fully understand all the controls for it. Now, for most drones, there's definitely a pretty high learning curve. So, for example, just to turn it on, you have to go like that. Press up and then down. And then there's a button here to start it. But then even before that, you have to actually get the drone itself and then turn it like this. I'm not actually gonna, don't use this as a tutorial, but just giving an example. And then you have to turn it like this. So again, it does vary depending on your drone model. So definitely read the instructions. And then on that same note, you want to know exactly how the drone's supposed to fly. because it is really different if you just see a video, you know, people know what they're doing, versus actually going out there and trying to fly it yourself. So for example, during the first video, we knew like pretty simply how to go up and down, left and right, stuff like that. But when you're actually flying it, it's a lot tougher. And what we weren't thinking immediately is, oh, how do we emergency brake, for example? So again, you want to know how to emergency brake. You want to know how to accelerate, especially decelerate, all that stuff. Once again, just read the instructions and make sure you know exactly what you're doing. Alright, so the point of the video is not to scare you off. Honestly, we crashed the drone about 12, at least a dozen times during our first attempt. And for the most part, guys, I mean, as you can tell, the drone is still in pretty excellent shape here. But there were a few instances where, for example, it almost went in a wake. It almost hit a person. So you want to be really, really careful going in. All that said, I did enjoy flying it, and I hope to get a lot better. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Alright, go ahead. Alright.